don't be afraid to take a risk. I mean, we left very good paying jobs and started from scratch, did a lot of hard work to get to where we are, but it's been an amazing ride, and it is so worth the risk.
This is the How to Quit Working Show. Jeff Steinman believes entrepreneurship is the only true path to freedom. That's why he created the How to Quit Working Show, where you'll hear stories, insights, and inspiration from lifestyle fanatics who left their soul-sucking 9-to-5 job forever. Now, here's your host, author, entrepreneur, and ultimate lifestyle fanatic, Jeff Steinman.
Hello and welcome to the How to Quit Working Show. We're going to have a really amazing conversation today with a couple of folks who started a business that is now a multi-million-dollar business. And get this, they make $1 million, actually closer to 2, walking dogs. I did not believe that that was possible, but Amy and Leslie of Woofies are going to tell us all about how they did that. And I think the important thing to pay attention to in this episode is, we talk a lot about business partners, and I get the question a lot, well, should I get a business partner or should I not? I think that Amy and Leslie really embody what a good business partnership is all about, because I've never had a really good business partner experience. I've had some bad ones though, and so I understand that side of it, and I understand that it is a very delicate balance that has to be played out in just the right way. In fact, a lot of folks even say it is as important of a decision, and it is it requires as much effort as a full-on marriage. And so I think that there's something to be learned by watching the way Amy and Leslie interact and the way they work together, and just listening to them together, I think is an education in what a business partnership should be all about. Not to mention, they're going to tell you how to make almost $2 million walking some dogs, which I think is pretty amazing. Now, if you want to keep talking about this after the show, go over to howtoquitworking.com/group and join the How to Quit Working group on Facebook. Just click join group, and then we'll get your request approved right away, and you can jump in the conversation. And just a reminder, the group is moderated, so nothing gets posted out there without myself or Heather approving it. And what that means is that there's no crap out there. There's no garbage. There's no garbage in the group. I mean, what other Facebook group can you go to and be assured there's not going to be a bunch of spam and people posting blog posts and all kinds of garbage like that you don't want? So howtoquitworking.com/group. Join in the conversation. Now let's get down to business. Amy and Leslie, welcome to the How to Quit Working Show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad to have you guys here. One of the things that we've been doing lately on the show is we have been really stepping it up in terms of the types of businesses that we're talking to. We're talking to more established businesses with higher amounts of revenue and more employees and just doing bigger and better things. And as I'm going through some of the options I had for folks to talk to, I did not think that when I stepped the game up that I would get a dog walking business.
No surprise there. Most people are pretty surprised by it.
Now, you guys are making, you're doing $1 million+ annually top line revenue walking dogs. You've got some explaining to do.
A lot of dogs to be walking.
Got a lot of dogs that we're walking. We're in our 10th year. We do the pet sitting and dog walking, but what also has really increased our revenues, 3 years ago we started mobile grooming and added that to our service offering. And so the combined offering of the dog walking and grooming has really made our business grow tremendously. And actually we're going to be just under $2 million in revenues this year.
Wow. Congratulations. That is really exciting. So it's not just about walking dogs, and I think that's the thing that folks need to realize. You're not just two people out there walking dogs, although we'll talk about how you get started, and I think maybe you started that way. But you've also introduced other lines of business and other things in that have helped to push that revenue number up. And I know one of the things that I've noticed just in my own personal life is, people spend a whole heck of a lot of money on their pets. I actually sort of did some high level calculations on what I spent on my last dog, and it was up there with a car. Like, it was up there with a nice car. So
Absolutely. People love their pets. Their pets are part of the family. So they don't hesitate to spend money on them.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about, we know where you are now, and that's great, but what we really want to hear about is, where were you before, and how did you get to where you are now? What made you decide to start a dog walking or pet business?
Well, Amy and I, we're neighbors, of course, but you know what? We were tired. I mean, I shouldn't say tired of our jobs, but
most of our listeners are.
we were kind of ready to try something different, and so I was at a point I needed to either leave my job or stay with it and not be happy, and same with Amy. So we both love dogs and cats and all different types of critters, and we were walking our family's pets, our neighbors' pets, and so we're like, hey, this might be something we can do to make, a living.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. And we actually, we saw one dog together, Jeff, for about a month, and we're thinking, oh dear God, what have we done? We have one dog we're walking, totally out of our service area. And we were going together because we didn't know, we were like, how do we do this? And so then after a couple of months, it just took off.
Really? So what do you think was the catalyst? What was the thing that kind of helped it to take off?
I think we were out there just picking up any calls that came in. We would go out and walk the dogs. As Leslie said, we went out of our service area for a little bit in the beginning. But word about our service quickly spread. I think it's just through word of mouth. People saw how much we cared, and we wanted to really come in and not just walk dogs, but also do it in a very professional manner and make the customers feel very comfortable. So when they're away at work or they are traveling, that they're not worrying about their pet. We really wanted to kind of elevate the level of service that we felt was really missing from this industry. And we felt that it really could be a true business. It's not just a hobby. You hear a lot of times people, oh, I love dogs, I want to go start a dog walking business. There's a lot more to it, and it's a lot of work. It is 7 days a week. We were literally out there 7 days on holidays. Our first Christmas, I remember we were out walking dogs starting around 5 a.m. and going till
10 o'clock
at night. And that's what we did 7 days a week. And then we, of course, started hiring people, but it was a lot of work. But, referrals was the best way for us to grow. People talk. When they're happy, they talk to their neighbors, they talk to their friends and their coworkers.
What you said that I thought was so interesting. You said, we wanted to elevate the level of service. And then you went on to say something to the effect of, we wanted people to not have to worry about their pets when they're on vacation.
Absolutely. That is giving that peace of mind.
That's what we base our business off of.
Absolutely.
And the community we're in is a small community. And kind of everybody knows everybody. And it's when anybody says, oh my God, I need somebody to walk my dog, everybody says, you better call Woofie's. They've been walking my dog for 10 years, And Amy and I we worked nonstop, and it was the two of us. And we knew if we wanted to continue this level of service that we needed help.
Sure.
We were just going nonstop. And so, we're very hands-on. Amy and I are hands-on with everything. And that's when we started. We recruited I had a lot of stay-at-home mom friends. We had school teacher friends. We had clients that wanted to work with us. So we based it on that.
Excellent. Now, when you were working your butts off doing this 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. dog walking thing, were you still working your full-time jobs, or had you left them by then?
Oh.
Leslie was on full-time, but I still had my full-time job. I was working remotely for a company out in California, but I was juggling both of them for about the first 6 months. So
and
that was fun.
I can only imagine. Now, did you have kids at the time?
I don't, but Leslie has a son.
Yeah.
Okay.
My son was probably about 8 or 9. And so, that was kind of a juggling act. But I remember Amy had to travel someplace, I think Japan,
for work.
I had 21 dog walks.
Wow.
Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it was like, oh my. I started at 9 a.m. and just worked through my whole day. It was pretty fun.
It was pretty fun.
It was a lot of fun. My
make it work.
My feet hurt at the end of that day.
That's awesome. Well, I was going to ask you, like, what is it? What is the force? What is it that pushes you through a 14-hour day of walking dogs?
Making people happy.
Yeah, and having something, knowing that this business is ours. We came from the corporate world where, of course, you always take pride in your work and you want to do a good job, but at the end of the day, it's not yours. And when this is something that truly belongs to you, you're willing to work 7 days a week. You want to work 7 days a week because you want it to grow. You want to make the clients happy. You want to bring on a lot more clients. You want to bring on great people who want to come work for you. So that is, you don't really think about it at the time. It's just a natural push because it's yours. It's your baby, and you want it to go right. And you also want to see it grow. We both quit salary jobs, and fortunately we had very understanding husbands, because and that's a factor. I talk to people all the time that say, oh, I wish I could do what you do, but they might be a single woman, and that would be difficult. So we are very lucky and grateful we had that, but that's what pushed us is we need to make our own money. We need to get back to where we were at the corporate level, but doing something that we love and something that truly belonged to us and only us.
Excellent. So why dog walking instead of all the other million things that you could have done?
Oh, because
why not?
Who doesn't like puppies? Yeah, we love doing it. I mean, we love animals, so
you're outside, you get exercise.
Yep, that was a no-brainer. Thinking, what do we want to do? Yeah.
And I think also, we both have had experiences in the past before we started Woofies where we weren't happy with the level of pet care that we had. I know Leslie had a bad experience with her bulldog when they went away on vacation. And I had a couple of times where I was traveling and I just didn't have a good option of, taking care of my dogs. So that was another reason is we saw there was a real need for it. So
the community where we live, a lot of people don't have children, and their dogs are their babies. And they will go above and beyond, and it's peace of mind, as Amy said earlier. I mean, these people they go in and work 6 to 8 every day, and they're leaving their babies alone all day, and it's comforting.
And it's more than just a dog walk. They're trusting us to take care of the security of their home and to take care of their pet, to be aware that, we've had times where we're taking care of some pets for an extended period of time, and you have to have, good judgment and to see if a pet's not doing well or needs medical attention. It's not just going in and doing a walk or feeding the cat or anything like that. It's a lot more. They trust you to basically, work in their place and to look out for their pet and also look out for their home. I mean, when you think about it, Leslie and I talk about this all the time. We're still kind of amazed how, people will give us, the keys to the house, their alarm systems, garage codes. I mean, we could walk anywhere in our community and, we have clients everywhere, but that just shows the level of trust that they need to have in you. So it's much more than just walking a dog.
Well, but it's not just you, Amy and Leslie, going in and feeding and caring for these animals. Now you have other people doing that, right?
We started off by saying, hey, we recognize that in order to grow this business and to maintain the level of quality, we wanted to hire people that we already knew that loved animals. And so we that's how we started it. And, Amy and I, we employ a lot of people, and we have to make sure that we pay these. A lot of people are single moms, and they rely on this income. now, that's why we drum up business. We're always drumming up business, always thinking of new ways, because these people rely on us, and
it's a big responsibility.
It's a great responsibility. Jeff, we have a lot of single moms that this is their livelihood. This is how they make their money. And we also have older people that have recently been like laid off work, where they come to us and we know them, and they're like, hey, I need to make some money, and this is a great way to do it.
And we started off hiring very slowly. It was just the two of us in the beginning, building it from scratch. And then, slowly we hired the people we knew, because, again, you have to find people that can instill that same level of trust that we do for our clients. And we're 10 years into it. We now have over 60 dog walkers and pet sitters.
Wow.
We have several that are full-time, like Leslie mentioned, and we have a lot that are part-time. And then we also have 9 groomers for our mobile grooming business.
Wow, that's cool stuff. Now, did you guys know, obviously now you know a lot about starting and running a business. There's no question about it. But when you started, did you know much about how to start and run a business?
Well,
a lot of trial and error.
Yes, a lot of trial and error. Yeah, we learned a lot. I think if we could go back 10 years, if we had like a video, we'd be like, oh my God, why did we do it this way? No, we've learned so much. But that's great. Each day we learn something new and how to improve.
But I think at the core of it, we had like the same fundamental quality that has made us successful, and that was just to work so hard to do whatever we need to do to make this successful. And the two of us we have 2 different personalities in some ways, but then in other ways at the core we're the exact same. And I really think that's what has helped us grow to the point that we are today. And we continue growing, and we've got a lot of really exciting plans for the future. So
that's really cool. It sounds like you've got similarities where it matters, yet you complement each other in ways where maybe one doesn't have a quality or an attribute.
Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
You took the words right out of our mouths. We do. We complement each other. Now, and a lot of people will be like, "Oh my God, she's your neighbor. Do you guys fight?" We're like an old married couple. We often joke with our husbands that we work harder at this marriage than we do at our girlfriends. We each bring something different to the table.
That's cool. One of the things that we hear a lot from business partners is one person is more the business person and one person is more like the domain expert. Do you guys have any divisions like that? Is like maybe Amy's like the real big numbers person or something like that?
Yeah.
Funny how you bring that up.
It is. Yes.
I would say I definitely am more on the back end with business side, but Leslie is the heart of the business, and you are. And everybody says that. She's the reason we have so many people that want to come work for us, and the clients absolutely love her. But that being said, Leslie delves into the business side quite a bit, and I go into the personal side as well. So it's not like it's this true division of labor here, but we definitely, but it corresponds with our personality.
It does. But she's taught me so many things about marketing, and I've taught her things. So we just balance each other out. That's the great thing about it.
And it's so important in this business. Yeah. Having each other, we've said this all the time, it'd be very difficult to do it on your own. To the level of where we've taken it and where we plan to take it. But I think having the complementary personalities and strengths and weaknesses has really helped us out.
Awesome stuff. What's the biggest challenge that you face on a day-to-day basis running the business?
Oh, I would say we probably each have some answers on that, but I would say the biggest challenge is this is a very personal business. You're dealing with people's pets in their homes, and how to grow it, but still keep that level of personalization. And where we want every client to feel very special and important because they are, and they're part of our Woofie's family, and we want that. So it's maintaining that, and then also hiring the people who will have the same work ethic that we do, and care the same amount that we do. Yeah. But still be able to grow the business.
I agree 100%. Yeah.
It's a big challenge.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about kind of the evolution of the company. So you kind of talked about how first it was just you guys walking some dogs, then you hired some folks. Talk a little bit about kind of how did it go from Amy and Leslie to having a few folks to having multiple lines of business and multiple product and service lines?
I think what happened is, we started off and then added more and more pet sitters, and that business grew every single year. 3 years ago, and we had been approached from clients all the time. They're always asking about referrals for vets and their trainers and, boutiques where to get their food. But a huge question that always was posed to us was, I need a groomer. And they wanted a mobile groomer. They wanted the convenience of someone coming to their house. You can do it while they're at work or on vacation or if they're home. But everybody kept asking us about mobile grooming. And at the time, I had 3 dogs, and I used to use a mobile groomer because I liked the convenience. It was very difficult for me to take my dogs to the grooming salon. So we, talked about it. We kicked it around for a while.
At least a good year.
A good year, of really, are we, ready to jump into this? Because we knew the business was there. We knew the opportunity was there, but it's also jumping now into, from a financial standpoint, a big investment. The vans are not cheap. And that was something that we wanted to make sure we were ready to go. But it was a natural evolution for us because all of our pet sitting clients had asked for it. So.
Excellent. Well, I think one of the things that's so cool about when you establish a client base, you then have a client base that trusts you, and they kind of give you your business expansion ideas on a silver platter, right? They told you exactly what they wanted. They told you how they wanted it. They probably gave you some guidelines around what they were willing to pay for it, and a lot of other really great detail like that.
Oh, it is. And with mobile grooming, okay, so we had our pet sitting already established, so all of our pet sitting clients wanted to use mobile grooming, and then new grooming clients then wanted to use us for pet sitting. So It just is like it just blossomed and exploded. It was beautiful. I mean, it was like, oh my gosh. And, that's when, we kept on saying, now we need to hire even more people. We have back end people now that we have an amazing pet sitting manager, office manager. Our mobile grooming manager is phenomenal. She is taking it to the next level for us.
And that's what's so important, is surrounding ourselves with really
good people,
good, strong people. And that's what's going to help us grow in the future as well.
I think the hardest thing I know for like myself, and I don't know for you, but was to let go of some things.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're not control freaks, but it's that, oh my God, can they do it?
Can they do it as good as I can do it?
Exactly. Yes. And will they care as much as we care?
Yes.
What were some of the things that were hard to let go?
Just the every day-to-day,
well, even managing, for example, all of the pet sitters, we know all of these clients inside and out because we do a consult with every new client who comes on board for pet sitting and dog walking. So either Leslie or I do it. So between the two of us, we know the pets, we know the owners, and so we had all of the pet sitters, throughout the day, if they have questions or need something or have, they would call us, and we're used to just handling everything because that's what we've always done, because we know the business inside and out. And so letting go to our pet sitting manager, But, was a big change for us. But even with, as silly as it might sound, our office manager, we're used to answering all the emails and handling all the phone calls and talking directly to all the clients and handling anytime an issue, if something were to come up that we needed to address with a client, we always handled it. So transitioning some of that over to our office manager and pet sitting manager has definitely been a big change for us because we're used to just dealing with everything ourselves.
Well, and Jeff, you know how the old saying is, oh, let me just do it. It's easier. It's easier. That we had to let go of.
Yeah.
And so, but when you have a great team, and it's fun also to be able to teach each person, hey, this is how we want it done. But then also they bring new things to the table, fresh ideas. And so it's wonderful. We all bounce ideas off of each other, and, Caroline, who is our pet sitting manager, went to Virginia Tech, and during school, she would work with us during breaks. She is now graduated and left to go do another job and said, I want to come back and work full-time with Wolfies. And so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so, and they just all bring great ideas to the table.
Very cool. What's harder, starting a new business or growing an existing business?
Ooh.
They both have their...
a lot of challenges.
A lot of challenges, with both. I would say starting a new business, because you really, you have to be available 24/7. And it's to grow a business. We both love going out, trying to meet new people. We're always doing, especially with mobile grooming, always doing like benefits, events. And so that's great.
And then I guess I would add to that, looking at starting a business versus what's harder, starting. I would definitely agree with Leslie. Starting is harder, but also, growing an established business has its own challenges too, because now you've got this group of people that you're responsible, you pay them salaries, they're, depending on you for their livelihood. So that presents a whole different set of challenges too, as, what can you do to constantly be creative with your business and grow your business, and what services do you need to add, or what can you do different with your marketing? Do you go into new markets? So that has a whole other set of challenges that are pretty exciting.
Yeah, and one of the things that I hear from you both is that you really seem proud of the fact that you create a livelihood for people.
We are. That's important to us.
That's awesome.
We've got a great team of people on board. We feel very fortunate, and we do feel a very big responsibility. Yeah. So we don't take it lightly.
Definitely. That's amazing. It's a part of business that I don't think gets talked about enough.
Yeah.
It keeps us up at night.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, and that's going to drive a lot of your decision making, right? Because when you're taking a risk, you're not just taking a risk for yourselves, you're taking a risk for all the people whose livelihood you're responsible for.
Yes.
And also, we have a responsibility to our customers. We have people that we've worked with now for 10 years, and and they refer us to other people, and there are people that we've become friends with over the years. When you're going to their house every day and taking care of their pets, you tend to know them on more of a personal level too. So it's a responsibility not only for the people who work for us, but also a responsibility to have a good business for our clients, to make sure they're getting the best service, and to make sure that people we hire are doing a great job and taking great care of their dogs in their houses.
Amazing. You know what I've noticed about you two is you don't talk over each other. I've had other
respect each other.
I've had other, but it seems like it's more than just respect though, because I've had other business partners. I've had husband and wife business partners on the show. This is like the 140 some odd interview that I've done, But you just, one seems to know when to stop and seems to know when to let the other one pick up. There's just like this, and I can tell you're not flashing hand signals to each other. I can tell, you just seem to kind of intuitively know.
We do that. You're so, gosh, you picked up on that right away. We do. We jive together. It's a beautiful thing.
And we have fun with what we do. We definitely, it's genuine, it's fun, and it's a lot of hard work. But we're very proud of it at the end of the day. And I think one thing we had talked about earlier is when we, started this business together, so many people just kind of looked at us like we were crazy, quitting our, corporate jobs and starting a dog walking business. They all just thought it was kind of ridiculous. And when are you going to get a real job? And, oh, that's a cute little hobby. Good for you guys. And I'm sure they had some comments about it, but it's been very rewarding. It's crazy. It's very busy, but it's been very rewarding. So
if I can chime in, a lot of our neighbors said, so do you still walk dogs? And we're like, and we'd leave it at that, say nothing else. And then they see these beautiful mobile grooming vans pulling up into our neighborhood, and how all of our walkers, we have cute little sweatshirts that they wear, and they're like, I see your walkers all around town. And so, it's a great business, and everybody that works with us, they just love what they do, and we love what we do. And we do have meltdowns, but usually if one has a meltdown, the other one calms the other person down. So that's great as well.
That's important. That's important. Amy and Leslie, what does success mean to you?
I knew you were going to ask that, Oprah.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yes, absolutely. Very good question. For me, success is doing something you love, but also being able to make a living out of it. So you know what I mean? So it's not just because I wish we could do this for free. We love it, and if we could, we would. But the reality is you have to make a living, you have bills to pay, and but being able to build something from scratch, do something you love, and be able to pay your bills is very rewarding for me.
Yeah. Success for me is kind of along the same lines as Amy, but I never graduated from college, and so I always thought, wow, how am I going to, start this business with her? And it was success for me that I went outside my box and I could do something like this and make people money and make ourselves money at the same time. And every day I wake up, Jeff, it's like I can wake up at 5 a.m. and I'm like, I'm ready to start my day. I love what I do. And so it is. It's a high that we can employ so many people and they don't have to worry about anything because they know they'll always have a paycheck from us. So it's a high. It's a great feeling to see people happy. The 4-legged and 2-legged kind.
That's awesome. Now, what's the last thought that you want to leave our listeners with? And know that our listeners are listening to this and they're saying, maybe dog walking is not my thing. Maybe it is. But they want to do something like this. What's your last piece of advice you'd want to leave with them?
I would say don't be afraid to take a risk. I mean, we left very good paying jobs and started from scratch, did a lot of hard work to get to where we are, but it's been an amazing ride, and it is so worth the risk. The reward far exceeds any kind of risk that you have to take. So I would say just go for it.
Yep, shoot for the stars.
Amazing advice. Where can we go to get more information about you guys and your business?
Our website is www.woofies.com, and we're on Facebook, facebook.com/Woofies.
Woofies, Woofies.
Yep, that's it.
Excellent. We'll link all that up below the show. Amy and Leslie, thanks so much for coming on the show and sharing your hard-earned advice. This isn't something you just picked up in a book and read and then came on the show and talked about. This is something you spent 10 years figuring out, in some cases the hard way, and having a lot of great success. And I appreciate your sharing it. I know our listeners appreciate it, and I wish you the best of luck with everything that you've got going on in the future with Woofies.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff.
Didn't I tell you that Amy and Leslie were awesome? They're just cool folks. And I think one of the things that I was not expecting to hear from them about their business is how how proud they are and how much they really, really enjoy the fact that they are creating a living for people. They're creating a living for their employees. They care immensely about their customers and about the dogs that they take care of. There's no question about that. But they also really, really care about the people whose livelihood is in their hands on a day-to-day basis. And, I loved what I think it was Amy said at the beginning of the show, which was, we just wanted to create a business that would help people to feel better while they're on vacation and not have to worry. We wanted to give people peace of mind. So many great lessons from this episode. Great show with Amy and Leslie. Go over to woofies.com, and they're also on Facebook. That's all linked up below the show on howtoquitworking.com. If you are ready to start an amazing business like Amy and Leslie have, and like all of my guests do on the How to Quit Working show, go to howtoquitworking.com/coaching, because that's what we're here for. We're here to help you. And we do now offer coaching. So go to howtoquitworking.com/coaching, get more information about How to Quit Working coaching. Reach out to Heather, our How to Quit Working coach. She'd love to chat with you and see if there's something that we can do to help you. And do that, howtoquitworking.com/coaching. And then next time I will talk to you and another amazing entrepreneur on the How to Quit Working show.
Thanks for joining us on the How to Quit Working show. Tune in next time when we'll talk to another amazing person just like you who is now living the ultimate life of freedom and doing it on their terms. If you want to learn how to quit working and get these episodes delivered directly to you, visit howtoquitworkingshow.com.